Hey guys, Matthew over at MRE here. So I thought I'd, change it up a little bit. We've had a couple little small videos. This one I'm going to try and put together. I think I might actually go through and maybe do this on a couple of the cars. I should have probably done it on the Civic and kind of gave you all a rundown on it. But whenever we get back to doing the install on the G4 shifter and stuff, I'll probably come through and pretty much just give you a rundown of the car. I mean, that car's been a 15-year build. I've had that car since high school, and there's a lot of story behind that car, and I think a lot of people, might be interested in seeing it. So, anyways, we'll get back to that one. Right now, I'm actually going to give you a little rundown of the Boost Knuckle. It's my '51 Dodge truck. I bought this truck about just over 2 years ago, and the truck was in a field down in mid-Missouri, and a guy was going to scrap it. He was going to take it to the scrapper. He had another one just like it, apparently it was in better shape, and I had an '85 Dodge pickup truck that I'd restored at the time, and it was kind of a pride and joy of mine as well. But the platform of that truck just didn't have a lot of aftermarket support and stuff to be able to make it go fast and add some, good stuff to it. So I actually found this truck on Craigslist, I believe. I go down to this garage and I see this old rusty truck, and I just couldn't let it go to the scrapper, guys. I really couldn't. So I ended up doing some trading and some dealing with this guy. Brought the truck home, and so many people thought I was crazy for bringing this rusty truck home. And I had a lot of ideas to make this thing really, really cool, and the ideas kind of changed and came, as days went on. I was like, maybe I'll do this, maybe I won't do that, and it's just been back and forth. But probably about, I would say the beginning of this year, 2018, I'd had a bunch of downfalls with the Civic and some issues, which is why I made the change over to Motec and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to push that car aside and I'm going to work on the truck and focus on getting the truck done. And it was just one thing after another. The truck really just came together, and it was so easy. It was so easy to just let the truck do its thing. I mean, it just kind of, it sounds weird, but the truck just spoke to me, and I just kept going with it. I just kept adding stuff and doing things. And I mean, this truck sits on an S10 chassis. It's an 89 S10 actually. It's been shortened for the wheelbase of the Dodge. It's got everything underneath of it's GM. It's got a GM 10 bolt. I have an S10. Local guy actually had it in a twin turbo S10 pickup truck, so it's got gears and a posi and stuff in it. I bought it, fairly cheap. Put it in the truck. Bought some WS6 rear disc. Put WS6 rear disc in it. I put new leaf springs. I mean, everything underneath this truck's brand new. It's basically a brand new truck. Beltec sway bars. I mean, it's brand new underneath there. When I had the cab and chassis and everything apart, I fixed a bunch of holes in the floor of the cab and undercoated it. PR15. Cleaned and prepped everything underneath the truck. We had to build a new trans tunnel because the cab sits so low down on the chassis that the transmission was going to sit so far up in the truck. We had to build a new trans tunnel for it. Was so surprised, but I was able to save the factory seat out of the truck, put some new foam in it, had it rewrapped, and kind of gave it a cover that would kind of go with the theme of the truck. Got all the interior pieces and stuff for it. Haven't put any new glass in it or anything like that yet, but we'll get to that at some point, obviously. It's a Turbo 400 truck. I wanted to put a 6-speed in it, but it just wasn't in the cards, so I just rolled with the Turbo 400 I found on Craigslist, stuck it in there. That was a $200 transmission I put in there, and this truck makes pretty good power, and I was really surprised it was last this long. But anyways, here's the engine. Obviously, everything in the front suspension, everything's brand new. I replaced ball joints, control arms, used Rock Auto, just put OE replacement stuff underneath of it. I wanted it to be basically a brand new truck. I wanted it to handle like a, fairly decent new truck, and not bounce around and be all heavy and, you know, make all kinds of noises, which the truck makes noises because it makes a lot of power and it's got side pipes on it. But anyways, this is a 5.3. It is actually a 3rd gen 5.3 aluminum block out of a, I believe, a Trailblazer. And I put 4th gen rotating assembly in it, factory crank obviously, factory rods, factory pistons, but all 4th gen stuff, flat tops. Excuse me. The heads are actually basically what they are is they're basically a 317. I've done a little bit of work to them. I put bigger valves in it, bigger intake valves, bigger exhaust valves, different seats and stuff in it, hardened seats. But it's got pack dual springs in it, a Lunati cam that I got from a buddy of mine that was supposed to be for like a 6-liter NA build. It wasn't meant for a blower. I actually didn't think it was going to work very well with this truck. And then I ended up coming up on the blower through my work, and you know, everything just fell together with this build. And when I put the truck together, I was certain that it was not going to make a lot of power, mainly because the cam, the heads were too big, and everybody even told me, they're like, this thing's not going to make power. But I ended up going with the Phytech EFI, the Ultimate LS. You can actually see the display there on the dash. A lot of people said that was a bad idea. I put a couple of these kits on my dad's cars, not the LS stuff, but their base kits, their TBI kits, and had pretty good luck with them. And I was really surprised how easy that kit laid out. I mean, it fired up so easy. There's actually, I believe there's a startup video in the playlist. You can actually see it's only a few minutes long maybe, but it was the first startup with the Phytech, and I mean, the thing hit and lit just super fast. But anyways, we took the truck to Nice Performance here in Kansas City and put it on the dyno, made some pulls, and the truck ended up making 570 horsepower and 540 foot-pounds of torque on 91 pump gas and 8 pounds. So I was very impressed with it. The truck actually runs really good. It's a really fun truck to drive. But you know, we're really gonna see what this truck will do. I actually just recently put the Jegs wheels on it. I had a 15 in the front, went to a 17. I really like the 17, but the tire I've got on it now is too small because the truck sits really low, so I'm gonna have to put a bigger tire in the front. Hopefully that'll help bring the nose of it up. Plan on putting cow tracks on it. I'm gonna redo the exhaust a little bit. I think the exhaust is a little restrictive. It's all some custom exhaust that I built. It sounds really good. It's really loud. But I feel like with the shorty headers, which I'd like to put some long tubes on it, but the shorty headers and the exhaust that I built, I think it's a little restrictive for it, but it seems to work. I mean, the truck makes way more power than I think it should, but it did really well. So anyways, I'm gonna plan on doing that this year, more or less over winter. Where, like I said, we're gonna take the truck to Allegro Racing. He's gonna do basically an 850 cert cage in it. I don't plan on the truck going that fast, but you never know. I mean, if it surprises me, I'm almost certain it won't do it with the LSA blower, but you know, it might surprise me and go, you know, 1050s or something with the blower on it, you know, with some minor mods. You know, it's not ported or anything like that either, so we may get to a point where we want to put the turbo and stuff in it. I've got a 376 6.2 liter LSA block that I'm building. It's taking some time. It's kind of a piece by piece build. That's kind of how I do all these. But that's more or less going to be the end goal for this truck. You never know, it might go further than that. Maybe I'll get lucky and build a 427 for it and twin turbos, and I mean, possibilities are pretty much endless at this point. And you know, I've got the Whisker Biscuit. That's actually, the plan is to actually put this LSA blower 5.3 out of there into this truck and make a really cool little street cruiser out of it. Shop truck, you know, go and get parts and all that stuff in it. And you know, if some of my friends want to go racing, I'll let them drive this thing. But we will keep going, you know, with this truck. We'll change the fuel system. More than likely, this fuel system is not going to be enough for it. but we'll get the cage and stuff done in it. Hopefully beginning of the year we'll actually get it out and maybe go make some test hits with it and see if we can get this thing to go, you know, bottom 11s or high 10s or something in the state it's in now, and, you know, keep going faster. That's kind of the goal. I mean, I have a serious itch to go fast and I can't leave anything alone. But anyways, guys, I cut this really short. Like I said, it was just more or less kind of a build breakdown for this. Give you all a little rough idea how this truck's coming together. Comment, like, subscribe, you know, follow along and just see these builds come together. I mean, this is what I love to do, and might as well share it with you guys and see if you guys like it, maybe inspire someone to build something like this. So anyways, guys, we'll see you later.